Hey guys, how's it going? So today's video is going to be on what is a personal budget and how to make it. Now don't get too worried. I've found that the term budget is kind of a scary term for some people. And really it is just extremely simple. I even recall myself before I went to university and got my degree in finance, I had my father say to me, "Oh, do you have a budget? You should make a budget." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." I was thinking this is this very difficult thing to make. Like I'm gonna have to sit down and figure it out. And none of this could be further from the truth. It is absolutely simple. Like what a budget is, a personal budget is simply taking the income that you get every month and then subtracting all the expenses that you have. And then you can see if you're good, like if you're going to have extra money that month and you can invest it, or you're going into the hole. And if you're losing money every month, then that's something that we definitely need to figure out. And you need to look through your budget and figure out how can we prevent that from happening, because that's not what we want on this channel, right, guys? This is all about value investing and living a better life and a better future. So there's a couple different ways you can do a personal budget. The most basic ways, you can sit down like a pen and a piece of paper and write it out and do the math yourself. But we live in the age of technology where it's made it much easier. So if you have Excel, I mean, they just made it extraordinarily easy, and then you can do many things with it from there. So all I did was I went to Google and I just typed in Excel budgets, and I came actually to the Microsoft website here, and they've got tons of them, right? Personally, I don't like a lot of them. I like this one because it has a lot of different things and it's easy to see in it. You can always add things as well, and it's very simple just to add on the lines here. And I'm going to leave a link in the description for you guys to download this if you have Excel and you want to use this. If you don't have Excel, if you have a Mac, I mean, I'm doing this on a Mac anyway, but if you have a Mac and you don't have Excel on it, there's always Pages, and there's templates in there. Also on this site that I actually just showed you here, this Microsoft site, there's other ones as well. I'm not sure these are holiday budgets and such, but you can go back and look at the other ones, and you can do them right out of the web browser. Like if you have hotmail.com, you can go there and do it right on there. Plus, I'm sure there's many different resources online that you can use. And even if you had a program, I mean, that is limitless. So, but if you can get Excel, I think this is the best one. Like I said, I'll leave the link down below. So what we're going to do is we're going to use hypothetical numbers here, and we're just going to quickly go through this. It's not going to be really accurate to me. I'm only going to use examples, but this is something that you guys should learn to do. So let's start right here. This is total expenses. So it has it for every month. I find that quite useless. I mean, it shows at the end of the year like how much money you can be up and down, but every month, if you average it out, is going to be about the same. If you think you're going to have more expenses in one month and it's just specific to that month, then you're going to basically take that and divide it by 12, because you're going to pay for it the same amount, right? So let's start here just to show you how it goes. Wages, so say you're making about $4,000 a month, okay? So now you can see it's showing here total expenses 0 because I haven't put any expenses in yet. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And then cash shortage extra, so you see the green up arrow, your $4,000 are the good because you have $4,000 in wages. Interest and dividends, I mean, if you have stocks, you could put that in there. Personally, I get those, but I don't take those out of my brokerage account. I reinvest those. I do future value calculations to see where I'm going to be at when I'm older, when I'm retiring and such. And I always take into account the fact that I'm going to reinvest dividends. I don't take those out and spend those for my day-to-day activities. I basically use my wages for my job. And if I had miscellaneous like YouTube earnings or something, I'd probably put it in here or down here, right? So now we got one here that says expenses. So here, if you had a mortgage, you put that in. You know what that is. Personally, I pay $900 in a month in rent, which is really good for what I get. So this is how you can evaluate your life when you're looking through your budget and say, well, I just can't afford that mortgage or whatever, right? And keep in mind, if you have that mortgage, please put in there like your property tax and insurance, because I don't know if it even has insurance here. So you think about all these different things. But if you're just renting, I'm just going to put that in. Same with utilities. If you got a house, put that in. Most people don't have a home telephone, but I have a cellular telephone, and I'm paying about $60 a month. I don't have any home repairs. I don't have any home improvement, but still even renting. Really think, guys, like you're still buying things. I bought some light bulbs. I personally have like Philips Hue lights in my place and different things like that. So I'm thinking, you know, what do I spend a month or a year on that? Maybe, I don't know, let's say $100 a year on the kind of high end of it every year. So what you can do in Excel is just hit equal 100 divided by 12, right? So you can do that right in these cells here. If you're familiar with Excel, you know this, but if you don't, it's that simple just to do a calculation. Or you could do it on a calculator and just put it in there. So it's about $8 a month. Home security, nah. Garden, I don't have a garden. My groceries are about $500 a month. Childcare, I don't have any of that. Dry cleaning, dining out. So a lot of people don't think about this. Say you're buying coffee every day, right? I'll make a video on that in the future, why it's so much cheaper just to make your own. But I still go and eat and always try to go on the high end here. So let's say you're dining out every month, you're spending whatever. Let's say $200 a month. Some other things here that are not applicable to me. I'm filling up my car maybe we have gas and fuel here, maybe every 2 weeks for about $40. So we'll say $80 a month there. Insurance, I'm paying about $1,400 a year. But I pay it yearly because let's save money, right? If you're paying monthly and you have the money, don't do it because you're wasting money, right, guys? So take that $1,400 and we'll see how much I'm paying per month. It's about $117. Repairs, I mean, this is something that maybe you should consider. Mine's still under warranty because it's new, so I won't put that in there yet. But you could make the assumption that if something does go wrong and you need to fix it, but it only happens maybe every couple of years and it's going to cost you a couple $100, right? So maybe you could average that out to like $100 a year, especially if your vehicle's new, because you're not going to be paying anything for years, right? This is something you really got to think about. So I'll just go, $100 a year. So we divide that by 12, $8. Car wash. I'm washing my car out quite a bit. It's maybe twice a month. Costs me about $10. So let's say $20 a month. Parking, I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that as well. So here, I've actually missed one thing, and this is what I'm going to show you guys how to do. I could have lumped it under here, and I still could, but just to show you how you can make changes here. If you click on the side here, right where this 34 is, right-click and click Insert. These ones are actually smart because they tally it down here at the bottom where it says Total. So it's just tallying everything in here. So you can put something else. So I get oil changes every 6 months. So you can just type that in and you could go, okay, so I'm spending about $75 every 6 months. So let's say $70. Actually, no, it's probably around $70 every 6 months. So it's $140 a year, right? So 140 divided by 12 because you need to have the money for that. And you see how it updated down there? So it's very simple to add things if the Excel spreadsheet doesn't have it. I don't have cable TV, but I'm renting maybe 3 movies a month and they're about $7. So let's say, $24 a month. Always want to go on the high end. Movies, plays, concert clubs. So say if you go out drinking, maybe I do that. I don't do that a couple times every couple months maybe, but let's go on the high end and say, $100 a month, right? But this is something you'll know, right? Like I said, you can even have to look through your bank statement sometimes and see how much am I actually spending. And it's that kind of thinking, that kind of analyzing your life where you can realize where you're going wrong with your money and just take a cold, hard look at what's going on and figuring out why you're not getting to your financial goals, right? Entertainment. So myself, actually, let's add another thing in here. I like to go to the casino and I consider that a sunk cost, right? Because you can never assume that you're going to win. So sometimes you'll be up, sometimes you don't. But I'll say, on average, I'm wasting $100 a month. So I'll put that in there as well. The gym, I'm spending $40 a month. Health insurance, I'm in Canada. Luckily, my employer pays my premiums where I work right now, so that's not relevant. If you have prescriptions, you can put in there. Over-the-counter drugs, lots of different things. If you have an animal, put it in there. Here, if you go on a vacation every year, let's make the assumption that maybe you're spending $1,000, you do it once a year, right? Let's just put that in. So that would work out to $83 a year. I'm not too sure why all those populated, but we'll clear those out. And if you're paying for stuff while you're there, definitely include it, but I'm going to assume that you say it's an all-inclusive or something like that, right, guys? So it's all inclusive. Gym fees, I thought I already wrote that on. Health club dues. I see those to be the same sort of things, but that's why it doesn't matter here because, if it's not applicable, it's not applicable, right? Sports equipment. Newspapers, internet connection. I don't pay for that. Put that in there if you do. Charity. Okay, so this one you really have to look back. I'm gonna make an assumption here and go, when I spend, let's go on the high end, $200 a year on just clothing, divided by 12, it's roughly 17. All these are highlighting again, I don't know why, but just clear it out. Gifts, so say you're spending money on gifts, even if you're getting stuff back, you're not really buying things that you need, right? So let's just put in there, say you have a couple siblings, whatever, and you do it once a year for, $50 each, and you have two of them, it's $100 a year. But this is where you're gonna have to look at it yourself. If you get your hair cut, personally me, it's like $30 every month. Books, I'm not really buying anyone. Music, I buy it off iTunes. And maybe I'm buying like 3 songs a month and they're like 99 cents. So let's just say $4, right? It's $4 a month. So here is where you should actually put in what your objective is. So I like to say like a $500 a month and put into investments. So I'll just put under long-term savings. I wouldn't worry about income tax, because that income tax I'm calculating up here at the top. See that I'm saying I'm taking $4,000 a month. That's after income taxes and everything, right? So make sure you do that at the top. Otherwise, I think you just get confused a little bit, right? Where are we here? Okay, miscellaneous. So then that's it, right? So you go to the very top here, and as you can see, if you're making $4,000 a month, you're going to be good for $1,100 even after investing that $500 a month. I believe I put down that was $500 a month. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, $500 a month. So then you can see you're really good. But I mean, if you're not making $4,000 a month, say you're making $3,000 a month. That shows you how close you are. I mean, you're still in a good spot right here, right? But as soon as something changes or you spend more, say, instead of spending $60 a month, you're spending $100 a month. That should have changed something here. Let's see here. So 60 to 1,000. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not a huge difference. But say you're spending $100 a month here, or 49, and say you have a mortgage. Well, let's say you're paying more for rent because you'll need utilities and such if you have a mortgage. Say you're spending $1,100 a month on that. Now look, you're losing money every month. So this is why it's so powerful. And you can see where you're at. You can see if you need to make more money, if you need to cut expenses, and it's all right here. You could even print this out and you can go month to month. But personally, like I said, I don't think any of this is really relevant. I would just right-click this and say hide. And there you go. There's what you could print out, and you could look at that every month. And you can even make sure, if you're really not, disciplined, you can make sure that this is what you're spending every month, that you're not spending more on groceries, you're not spending more on dining out, etc., right? So that's the basics on what a personal budget is. It's very simple, as you can see, and it's really all about just looking at what you're doing and planning your life. It's just a simple plan, and by doing this will change your life, guys. This will make it so that if you can invest that $500 a month, and say you're investing it in just even an exchange trade fund that tracks the market, and in 30 years you start with $100,000 or something like that, you'll have like $2.5–3 million, right? And that's huge. So it's the little things that add up to make the big changes. So I'm not going to make this video any longer. I think I explained it pretty well. It's really simple. But if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Any comments, I'd love to hear from you guys. And that's going to be it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.